Welcome students. Today in this ongoing series of direct and indirect narration, we will understand the types of direct and indirect sentences. So let us understand and before we begin the class, I want to remind you, if you are a new student, then you just subscribe the channel, and if you are the regular student, already a subscriber, then you recommend this channel to your friends and well-wishers. Okay, so let us begin. You know that there are certain type of sentences. So what are these? The first one, assertive, assertive sentences, number one. And you know that assertive are divided in two categories, positive and negative. Positive is also called affirmative. Assertive sentences are divided in two categories, positive and negative, and positive is also called affirmative, while assertive is called declarative. Declarative. Assertive is also called as declarative sentence. Second one, interrogative. Interrogative. Interrogative sentences are those which ask the question. The next one, imperative. Imperative sentences they ask questions. And imperative sentences, they make some request, some suggestion, they give some command. So here they make request, give command, or give suggestions. Imperative sentences make request, they give you command and suggestions also. The next category is optative sentences. They express wishes. They express wishes. They may be good or bad. They express wishes, or you can say curses. So anyways, whether it is good or bad, that will be termed in optative sentences. And the next one, exclamatory. Exclamatory sentences. These sentences express some emotional feelings. These feelings may be good or bad. They express emotions. Emotions of happiness, sorrow, regret, excitement, any emotion, that any expression which gives out these emotions, these are the expressions which directly come from the heart. A person doesn't apply one's mind too much while saying these. So these are the true feelings of someone, whether good or bad. These are expressed through exclamatory sentences. Now, before we proceed further, I need to remind you that in modern English, imperative and optative, these are mixed together, or we can say optative has been absorbed in imperative. In modern English, now wish, expressing wish or curse is also included in the category of imperative sentences. Now you have understood there are 5 types of sentences. So in the same way, there would be direct sentences, and accordingly you have to apply the rules as per the type of the sentence. Without understanding a particular sentence and its type, you can't use the proper rule and you will not be able to convert it into indirect. In the same way, from indirect, you can't convert it into a direct one unless you understand what type of sentence it is. So let's proceed further. And before we proceed further, let's have a quick recap. Assertive sentences, these are called declarative also, and these are divided in 2 categories, positive and negative. Positive is also known as affirmative. Then interrogative, these ask questions. Imperative, they make request, command, suggestions. Optative sentences, they express some wish or curse. Exclamatory, they express emotions, happiness, sorrow, regret, excitement, or any other emotion of like that. So let's proceed further. Now we will understand the examples of assertive sentences, how these are used, how direct sentences are written in assertive type. In the type of assertive sentences, how direct sentences are written, we will understand. And here we will understand both positive and negative sentences. This first category is the most important category of direct sentences. So let us take the first one, assertive type. Assertive sentences my father said to me, you go to market immediately. My father said to me, you go to market immediately. So what will be its passive? My father told me that I went to market immediately. As per the rule, so this was a positive sentence. Second one, he said, don't do this work. Don't do this work. So what will be its indirect? He said that I did not do that work. Next one. Sometimes what happens that in a direct sentence some useless words also come. So when this happens or some useless words come in the direct, then you have to just ignore them. For example, My friend said to him, well, you see, we will meet tomorrow. Meet tomorrow. My friend said to him, well, you see, we will meet tomorrow. So here you just see that some useless words are here. They have no meaning. There is no use of these words. So such words, when come in the direct sentence, you need to ignore them while converting it into a passive. So what will be the passive? My friend told him that they would meet the next day. We will understand one more example. Sometimes what happens that somebody addresses you as my boy, or you can say you address some elderly person as uncle, okay, as grandfather. Sometimes it happens when you meet somebody, some elderly person, so as a mark of respect sometimes you address that person. If that person is a lady, sometimes you address her as your aunt, okay. And if the lady is very old, sometimes you address her as your grandmother, okay. So what happens, how to write these when such a expression comes in the direct sentence, then how to write this? Let us see one example. Ram said to the boy, Ram said to the brother, naughty boy, you have again broken the cup. Naughty boy, Ram said to the brother. Before we proceed to understand it, I want to tell you one very important thing that is related to grammar and will improve your understanding. Here I am intentionally using the. So when article the is used, it means Ram said to brother, means this boy is not the brother of Ram. It is the brother of somebody else. This boy might be the brother of his friend. Okay. So when article the is used, it means this brother is not of that person which is referred to here. So Ram said to the brother means simply Ram said to the brother of somebody. Okay. And if we remove this, suppose, then what? Ram said to brother, it means Ram said to his own brother. Okay. So this is the fine difference that you need to understand. But I have intentionally used it here. Ram is saying to the brother of somebody. Okay, not his own brother. This article tells you. So Ram is addressing that boy as naughty boy. As naughty boy. You have again broken the cup. So how we will make it passive? We will make it indirect. Ram told the brother Ram told the brother before writing this, you just firstly take care of this, then you write this. Addressing the brother, as a naughty boy, addressing the brother as a naughty boy. Ram told him that he had again broken the cup. You just understand. Ram said to the brother means here the brother is not of Ram. So he addressed, suppose he is my brother and Ram has visited my house and he is making this comment. So Ram told the brother how, after addressing him as the naughty boy. So addressing the brother as a naughty boy, Ram told him that he had again broken the cup. So here in this discussion we have understood the different type of assertive sentences. Here we have understood in the first sentence, which is a very simple one, positive one, and we can say this is the affirmative category. My father said to me, you go to market immediately. So this was affirmative. He said don't do this work. This was the negative one. In the third example, we understood when some useless words come, then how to ignore them while making the indirect. And the next one we understood when somebody addresses some person by calling him uncle, aunt, naughty boy, okay, my son, okay. In this way, when somebody addresses, then we will use the word addressing the brother, okay. When somebody calls somebody by using a proper some salutation, some special word for that person, then you will use addressing the brother as a naughty boy. Ram told that he had again broken the cup. In this way, you will deal with these assertive sentences. Now we will move over to the next part. In the next part, we will understand how the questions are asked. That means interrogative interrogative sentences. So let us understand what are these. Interrogative sentences, you know, these ask questions. So what type of questions are asked? Let us see. This is the second one, interrogative. You can ask the question by using two methods. Either you take help of auxiliary, or without the help of auxiliary. Questions are asked in two ways: by taking the help of auxiliary and without the use of auxiliary. That means using the question word. So let us see. He said to me, do you like this movie? He said to me, do you like this movie? This is the question. So what will be the answer? He asked me whether or if I liked that movie. So what are the significant changes? This will be changed into that. And here, do you like this movie? This is in simple present tense, simple present. So it will convert into simple past. So if I like that movie, the question will not remain the question. And we will remove this inverted comma and this comma, and we will use the conjunction whether or if. This was the first example. Now let us see another example. My father said to me, where were you? Where were you for a long time? My father said to me, where were you for a long time? So here you know that a question word is used. When I said that sometimes auxiliary is used, as you can see in this example, and sometimes question word is used. So when question word is used for asking the question, then that question word, that question word will become the conjunction. You need not write if or whether. So let us see how. My father asked me where. Here we are using this question word as the conjunction where I had been for a long time. Why we are writing this? Here you know that this sentence is in simple past. This sentence is in simple past and it will change into past perfect. Alright. So we understood these two parts in this. Now we will proceed further for the next category, that is imperative sentence. Third category, imperative. In imperative sentences, we write three type of sentences. Request, which express request, which express command, and which gives suggestion. See the example. He said to me, would you like a cup of coffee? Would you like a cup of coffee? He said to me, would you like a cup of coffee? So it looks like a question, but actually it is a request. So here a request is expressed. He requested me whether I would like to have a cup of coffee. Would you like to have? That would give you proper meaning. Whether I would like to have a cup of coffee, or you can also write he offered me a cup of coffee. That would also give the same sense. Now the next one, and in the next one a command is expressed. My friend said to me, firstly we will understand about the suggestion and then we will understand about the command. My friend said to me, let's go for a walk. Let's go for a walk. Here suggestion is there. Let's go for a walk. My friend said to me, let's go for a walk. So here we will see how let is used. My friend suggested me to go for a walk. To go for a walk. My friend suggested me to go for a walk. Next, the teacher said to the students, sit down. The teacher commanded the students to sit down. The teacher commanded the students to sit down, and here order is given. You can also write the teacher ordered the students to sit down. So we try to understand imperative sentences briefly because this is a very broad topic. Different type of sentences are used, that will come through practice only. So here we have taken a few examples in order to make you aware about this. Now we will move over to the next part, and that is optative sentences. So let us see what are optative sentences. As I have already told you in the beginning, that optative sentences express some wish and they also express some curse. So expressing the wish or expressing the curse comes in the category of optative sentences. In modern English, optative sentences are mingled with imperative sentences. So there is no separate category for them, but we will still take them separately. So this is the fourth part, optative sentences. These express goodwill or curse. These we can say bless. These express blessings or these express curses. Now example, the old man said to the boy, may you live long. May you live long, and here exclamatory notion will come. So here obviously the old man is giving the blessings to the boy. So how it will be written? It's indirect. The old man blessed the boy for a long life. You can also say the old man exclaimed that the boy might live long. Now we will see how somebody curses. The saint cursed. The saint, here we will express the bad wish of somebody. The saint said to the king, may you die. So here obviously it's a curse. The saint cursed the king for an early for meeting an untimely death. For meeting an untimely death. Or the saint cursed the king that he might die. So you can write this second one is more literal, and the first one actually is the indirect of the sense or the meaning, and here it literally follows the word. So you can write in either way. I hope you have understood how optative sentences express some wish, some blessings or some curses. Now the last part, and this is of exclamatory sentences. Exclamatory sentences also express the emotions, as optative sentences are also express the emotions, because they wish somebody. When you wish somebody, then it comes from your heart. So let us see what are exclamatory sentences and how they are used. This is the last part. Exclamatory sentences. These express sudden emotions. Sudden emotions, and there are certain words which are called the words of exclamation, and these express, as I told you, happiness, sorrow, regret, excitement. So what are these? Let us see. Hurrah, alas, hark, oh, ouch, bravo, wow. These are the words. These are the words which express the emotions. Let us see the sentences, examples. Sometimes without the use of these words also exclamatory sentences are written. We will see how. Hurrah! We have won the match. we have won the match. Hurrah, we have won the match. The boys shouted. The boys, what will be the indirect? The boys exclaimed with happiness that they had won the match. In this example, we have seen that how a word of exclamation is used for making the sentence exclamatory. But sometimes what happens, that word of exclamation is not used and still the sentence is exclamatory one. Example, this is a second example. How bad the day was. How bad the day was. My sister said to me. How bad the day was. My sister said to me. My sister exclaimed with regret my sister exclaimed to me with regret that the day had been very bad. That the day had been very bad. So I hope that you have understood this. And before I end the class, I want to remind you, if something is still true, then we will not change the tense. Let us see one example in this. This is related to the normal sentence, that means assertive one, first category. This is a note. Before I end the class, this is a special note for you. Sometimes what happens that we don't change the tense if whatever is said in the reported speech is still relevant at the time of speaking. So you just see, he said to me, he said to me, he said to me, your brother is gentle. He said to me, your brother is gentle. Suppose this is a sentence. Then normally we will write its indirect. He told me that my brother was gentle. Normally we will write this because this is in simple present. But here you know that this is related to the behavior of somebody. And if that behavior is persisting, that means if the brother is gentle and at the time of speaking also he is gentle, he has not lost his gentleness, okay, then you will say my brother is gentle. You will not change the tense, okay. See one more example. Ram said to Syam, my mother cooks nice food. So here you can also write in this way, Ram told Syam that his mother cooked nice food or cooks nice food. Because cooking nice food is a quality of somebody, and that quality will not change with the passing time. So it is still relevant. So you can write this sentence in both ways, and particularly this second one will be preferable than the first one. Why? Because here it gives us the idea that these qualities are still persisting at the time of speaking. Okay, so you will not change the tense in such sentences. Okay, you will write the indirect in this way. So I hope you have developed your understanding, you have enhanced your knowledge regarding the direct, indirect and their types. So with this, I am ending the class. Thank you.